Greetings, programmers! Welcome to episode number 12. We're up to a dozen. I'm
Yay!
Busted Thumbs here, and we're working on our Frogger competition. And Fluffy Wishes is with me again.
Hello!
We're so excited. Guess what we get to do this time? We get to do logs!
Yay!
Only our logs, it turns out, are not going to look like logs, because the graphic I have for logs looks like turtles. Oh no!
It's the same thing as with the truck.
Yeah, we have the same problem we had with the truck, don't we? So we have to go fix this. We have to move the center of this guy, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to get started here, right into the center. Like that.
Poor turtles.
And then we got the problem with the three turtles as well. Oops, let's go ahead and center it on that guy.
Ooh.
Should be about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it kept track of our little vector turtles.
Yep.
So we have two sizes. We have 3 turtles and we have 2 turtles. And they're about 100 tall. And it looks like the widths are 197 and 294. We're going to need to know that a little bit later. I thought the way we would start, though, is to go to our stage and look at the data that we keep track of for cars, because we're going to have to do the same thing for turtles. So down here in our lists, we have some lists that are about cars. And we're going to need that for turtles as well. So we're going to need turtle delay list, which is the number of ticks in between
Each turtle.
the little set of turtle things going
Yeah.
across. Yeah. Spawning. It's how many ticks happen between them spawning. Okay. We are going to need a list called turtle velocity,
Yay.
because the tortoise always beats the hare.
Yeah.
And we're going to need a list called the last turtle tick. A turtle tick, that actually sounds pretty bad, right? That's like a little insect that preys on turtles.
Oh, that's so sad.
That is pretty sad. Let's make it so it's just the number of little 30ths of a second instead. Okay, so we've got those, and I think there was at least one variable that had to do with cars. Car row count, we already have, because we have log row count. Oh, and look at that. I'm talking about turtles down here, and I talk about them as logs up here.
Oh.
Why don't we be consistent? Should I get rid of them?
You should get rid of the log one, because there's less logs than there are turtles, and be more like...
Yeah, but I'm using the log one. You know what? I'll just name everything from here on out as turtles.
Can't you rename it?
No.
Isn't there like a...
If you hit this guy. Oh, you can.
See?
Oh, you can. Maybe that's the way to go. So there's a car row count. There should be a log row count. We can change that, rename that variable to turtle row count.
Will it automatically change everything else?
Let's go look. Look at that. It changed right there.
Yay!
Make sure it changed over here. No, that was car row count plus car row count, which is already wrong. This should be turtle row count. That was probably wrong before. I think that's the only other place we used it.
Yep.
So I think we're good. So it turned out the car row count and turtle row count happened to be the same thing, so it didn't matter, but like that was a bug and we needed to fix that. So it's good we found that. Okay. The one thing we haven't done is the car clone lane, and that was when we were creating a clone of a car, we had to tell it which lane to do that in. And we had creating car clone, which we were tracking too. So let's make those ones. So we're going to need a turtle clone lane. And we're going to need creating turtle clone. Okay, and we don't need to show those. But we do need to set them at the right spot. Car row count we set right here, but that doesn't need to change. Creating car clone, we do have one of those. We do need now to make a creating turtle clone and set it also to false. And the car clone lane is set to -1, so we need to set our turtle clone lane also to -1 to be consistent, which means we're not creating anything right now. But now we do need to do this for all of these lists. So what we basically need to do, since they're pretty much all the same, let's go ahead and duplicate that and stick it here at the bottom. And now all we have to do is change all of these from velocity, car velocity to turtle velocity. Now the thing about the turtles and the logs, and remember I do have to call it logs because that was one of the requirements, right? In our competition?
No, you're supposed to change that to turtle delay.
Yes. You're right. Turtle delay. But the thing about the turtles that is different from the cars is that it's bad to get hit by a car, but it's good to jump onto a turtle. So we probably want the delay to be a little bit less for the turtles because we want them. We want them to be there more often, and that isn't turtle delay. That one is now turtle tick. Last turtle tick. Last turtle tick. That just sounds so terrible. Well,
Poor
maybe if it's the
turtles.
last turtle tick, we can kill it, and then we'll never have to deal with turtle ticks ever again. There we go. The velocities, let's just leave those alone. Maybe make this one a little bit fast. Well, no, because fast is good. Let's just leave them alone. But let's reduce these delays a little bit. With a little less space. I'm going to take each one down by 2. Yep. Oops. And we'll just see what happens when we get to that. But that's our initialization steps for the turtles.
Yay.
I think that's all we have to do here inside of the stage. The frog, though, is going to have to start. Remember, it was the frog that was telling when the cars should come in, so it's going to have to also tell us when to make the turtles. So we're going to need a check for new turtles. We're going to need to check if hit by a turtle, but that'll be a little bit different. So let's make a check for new turtle. Check for new turtles. Check for new turtles. Okay. And let's bring that down to somewhere near where check for new cars is, which is this guy right here. I'm going to start moving some of this around so it's just not in our way anymore. Just bring that guy over there. And we'll bring this guy over there as well. Like that. Just gives us a little more space to be able to see both. We're going to have to deal with check if hit by a car. But that's going to be a little bit different for new ones, for turtles than it is for cars. All right, I think the logic here is pretty similar. So let's go ahead and let's create a duplicate of this again and pop that in there. And then we need to make sure that when we check for new cars, we're going to actually also check for new turtles. Actually, let's do that hit by car first and then check for new turtles. Okay. All right. So we should be able to reuse index because we're all done with the cars. So we can keep using index without having to create a new index. And then we want to repeat for the length of, in this case, turtle velocity. Change the index by 1. We're going to be dealing with last turtle tick. And we're going to be dealing with turtle delays. And then we're going to set creating turtle clone to true. And set the turtle clone lane to the index -1. Then we want to create a clone of the turtle, which is actually logs, because that's what they told us to do. And we want to wait until creating turtle clone is false. So creating turtle clone goes to false. And this should be last turtle tick. Yep. Okay. So I think that's doing everything that we wanted it to for creating the new turtles. And we can probably drop that guy over here. Move him over so he's about the same place as the checking for new cars. And then we'll just put this check if hit by car down here. Alright. So that's it for the frog's responsibilities. Now for the turtle himself, the logs. He's going to have to do basically the same thing as was done over here. So when we set up for the first level, we better hide. Looks like we're already doing that. We don't want that one for now. And when we start as a clone, we're going to need this. When I receive initialized variables, we're going to have to create that turtle width thing as well. But I'm not going to worry about that quite yet because I might track that just by number of turtles. So when we get to that, we'll get to that. Oh, but we are going to need to get to it right away, aren't they? Because we set the width. All right, so let's do it differently. Let's go to our turtles. And let's create a variable for this sprite only called toTurtleWidth. And we're going to make another one called 3TurtleWidth. 3TurtleWidth. And that means that when we receive that event, the same one, initialize the variables, we need to set those two variables. 2TurtleWidth and 3TurtleWidth. And what we want to set those to, 2TurtleWidth and 3TurtleWidth, is the width of these. So it's 197 and 294. 197 and 294. 197, 294. Okay. And what we do need to know then to keep track of in our list is how many turtles come in each lane at a time. And I think the first lane ought to be 3. And then maybe 2, 3, 2, something like that. 2, 3, 2.
Yep.
3, 2, 3, 2. Let's do that. So let's make a list for this sprite only. Turtles per lane. Something like that. And we don't need to show it, but we do need to delete all of turtles per lane, and then we just simply add 3, 4. So we said 3, 2, 3, 2. Okay, that's turtles per lane. So next, what did we do in cars? Well, we had all this stuff about when I started as a clone. And the easiest way I think to do this is we're going to backpack this. So if I take this and I drop it down into the backpack, it's there. And then I go over into my turtles, logs, and pop that back out. And there we go, we can just start working with it. It's not going to be right, we're going to have to change it. But we can work with it. Okay, so those are undefined there, right? That's part of the problem. We'll get to that. Let's go back, because we're probably also going to need set costume. So let's go back into there, and we're probably going to need all of these things. Right?
There is an easier way of doing this.
How is that?
You can just drag them over to the logs.
Oh, that's right. You can do that, can't you? Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Here's the other trick that you can do. The only problem with that is they kind of stack up on top of each other. So if you see logs here, it's got this when I started as a clone, and cars has this. You can just simply go like this. 1, 2, 3, like that. And we'll get to that. That one we can do on our own. Then when you come in here to logs, they're all kind of sitting on top of each other. So you have to move them around, but that's okay. Something like that. Okay, so now let's clean this up. We also need these variables because we don't have some of these variables for our turtle. So let's go ahead, while we're in the turtle here, let's go ahead and say that we need one called lane number. velocity. We need one called entry tick. And we need one called width. Okay, so now all those are showing up on our screen. We don't want that necessarily to be the case, so we can get rid of those like that. All right. We don't want to use car clone lane. When the frog created us, he didn't use the car clone lane, he used turtle clone lane. So we're going to replace that one. And in this case, we do want to use that velocity, but not from car velocity. We want it to come from turtle velocity. The tick can stay the same. The width, now this is where we have to change. We have to be a little smarter about how we do the width, because it's basically the width is going to need an if statement, because it's either 2 or 3 in here, and then we're going to use this guy. So let's move this out of the way, and we'll redo width here. If, and here we can use this item lane number, and this time we're using turtle per lane, is equal to 2. Then we're going to set our width, and this row height divided by 100, that was our percentage, remember. But now we're going to use 2 turtle width. So that's 2 turtle width times the percentage that we're going to use for our size. Otherwise, it's going to be 3 turtle width. Okay, so that's all good. We're making this bigger, so it's getting in the way. And this is still correct. So if the lane number, every other lane needs to change whether it's right or left, and we can keep this going right this way and left this way. So that's right. Setting the size is correct. What order did we do these two in for cars? We made them set costume and then position car on screen. So get rid of those. Set costume. And we need to rename this one. Position turtle. And this one needs to become creating turtle clone. Does that all look right?
Yep.
You didn't correct me on anything else, so I think we're good there. Position turtle on screen does get called. And this is going to be very similar to what we've done before, except for we don't need to worry about the turtle row count plus 2. Because we did the turtle row count plus 2 because it was the top one and the middle purple one was the 2. And then all the turtle row lanes, we were just trying to get past all of that. Now all we need to do is replace that with just 1 because we only need to get past the top lane. So that just becomes 1 and can go away. These, however, that needs to be the turtle row count, not the car row count. And the lane number can stay. So I think that's correct. If direction is right, we set the desired, oh, we didn't have a desired X. We need to make one of those. Okay, we set desired X to the initial X position. We don't have an initial X position. Did we have that in cars, initial X position? Yes, we did. So we're going to need that as well. It would be nice if it created these variables for us, wouldn't it? Based on what we bring in.
That would be very nice.
But it doesn't do that. So we have to do it ourselves. That's okay. A little bit of work. It's fine. That's what we're here for, to be smart. So we created desired X and initial X position. Velocity we had, tick and entry tick. And tick minus entry tick is just frames. I don't know why we didn't just use that. Oh, no, it's not. No. Tick my last tick is frames, so this is correct. Set X to desired X. Check if off screen and check if hitting frog. Oops. So let's go ahead and check if off screen. These are not car widths anymore. This should be turtle widths.
Dad.
Yep.
We're kind of going over time.
Oh, we are going over time. Oh, that's too bad. So we're not going to be able to see our logs yet on our turtles. We'll have to do that in the next one. We're so close. We're so close, but we can't leave it though just like this. I can't just show you because if it tried to switch its costume to red car and it's a turtle, it's going to run into troubles. But we are over our time for this particular episode, so we are going to have to stop right there. But hold on with us and join us again on the next one, and we will make sure we have some logs moving across the screen. All right. Thanks for bearing with us as we get into our logs. Even though we aren't able to show anything but scripts this time, we will have them up there for you next time. We enjoyed it still. Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed you correcting me because that makes it right. We call this pair programming. We're getting it right. And it's great because often the less experienced guy is the one actually driving the computer when you're pair programming. So that's me. It's fantastic. We'll see you around next time. We've gone way over. And I hope we're getting near the end here and we can see a nice fun game to play. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye!